Every year, Hollywood's biggest stars arrive hoping to deliver unforgettable fashion moments, especially with this year's theme, reimagining Hollywood glamour from the 20s and 30s. While many celebrities embraced vintage elegance and timeless style, others took bold risks that didn't quite land the way they hoped. From confusing couture experiments to outfits that felt more chaotic than chic, a few looks left fans seriously divided. So today, we're counting down the top 10 worst-dressed celebrities at the Actors Awards 2026. Emma Stone. Let's start with a look that sounded better in theory than it looked on the carpet. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Emma Stone stepped out in a custom lilac Louis Vuitton look that aimed for 1920s glamour with a modern minimal twist. But the result felt more confusing than chic. The pastel purple slip dress, with its scooped neckline and thin straps, was covered in intricate beadwork that created a heavy, almost chainmail-like texture, making the gown look weighed down instead of effortlessly slinky. She layered it with a matching long-sleeved crushed velvet bolero, which was meant to add high glam drama but ended up clashing with the delicate silhouette of the dress. The mix of shimmer, velvet and dense embellishment competed for attention rather than blending smoothly, giving the outfit a slightly overworked feel. Even her elegant Garati jewelry, soft makeup and signature auburn bob couldn't completely rescue the look. Jenna Ortega. If Emma's look felt overworked, Jenna's felt intentionally undone, and that's where the debate begins. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Jenna Ortega fully committed to the night's reimagining Hollywood glamour from the 20s and 30s theme. But her execution sparked major debate. Wearing a deconstructed cream silk slip dress from Christian Cowan's Fall/Winter 2026 collection, she leaned into a bold boudoir chic vibe with a navel-deep plunging neckline, a tattered lace bodice, and a thigh-high slit finished with intentionally shredded edges. The distressed details were clearly meant to feel edgy and fashion-forward, yet on such a classic red carpet, the raw, undone finish looked more chaotic than couture. She accessorized with elegant Mikimoto pearls, including a long chain necklace and a thin black choker draped down her back. But even those timeless pieces struggled to balance the intentionally messy aesthetic. While her old Hollywood-inspired side part and tousled waves were glamorous, the overall look felt like it was trying too hard to be rebellious, and for many viewers, it missed the mark instead of redefining it. Mindy Kaling. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Mindy Kaling made a bold statement in a custom Yara shoemaker gown dramatically titled The Awakening of Venus. Designed as a modern twist on the little black dress to match the night's reimagining Hollywood glamour from the 20s and 30s theme, the look definitely grabbed attention, but not all of it was positive. The strapless black velvet peplum bodice featured a sheer waist panel and a lace cutout at the bust, which created a striking silhouette but also made the top half feel overly complicated. The transparent floor-length knitted maxi skirt, covered in sequins, rhinestones and lace florals, added even more texture. And that's where things started to feel visually overwhelming. Instead of elegant old Hollywood drama, the mix of velvet, sheer fabric, sparkle and lace competed for focus. Teyana Taylor. And then came a look that turned the red carpet into an art exhibit. At the 2026 Actors Awards in Los Angeles, Teyana Taylor once again proved she doesn't do safe fashion, stepping onto the carpet in a surrealist strapless gown by Thom Browne that instantly divided opinions. The bodice resembled an abstract painting of a nude female body in shades of grey and off-white, turning her dress into literal wearable art. A wavy neckline and curving seam between the fitted bodice and floor-length skirt added to the dramatic, almost optical illusion effect, while streaks of silver and trailing ribbons at the back made the look even more theatrical. It was bold, creative, and undeniably attention-grabbing. But for some, the painted body design felt more costume than couture. especially for an awards show celebrating classic Hollywood glamour. And in a sweet moment, she posed with her daughter Rue Rose Shumpert, who adorably helped arrange the train. Kathryn Hahn. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Kathryn Hahn stepped onto the red carpet in a custom Victor and Rolf gown that was impossible to ignore. The long-sleeve design featured an exaggerated, voluminous tulle ball gown skirt that instantly brought high-drama couture energy, but it also risked overwhelming her frame. The most eye-catching detail was the bold hot pink peplum accent cinching the waist, acting almost like a statement belt against the softer tones of the gown. While the silhouette was undeniably theatrical and fashion-forward, it felt more runway spectacle than classic awards show elegance. The oversized skirt dominated every angle, making the look appear heavy rather than graceful. She wisely kept her hair soft and polished to balance the dramatic structure, but even that subtle styling couldn't fully tame the visual intensity. Odessa A'zion. At the Actors Awards 2026, Odessa A'zion ditched the traditional gown and arrived in a shaggy avant-garde Giorgio Armani privé jumpsuit, and it was definitely a conversation starter. Covered head to toe in silk fringe, the look appeared black at first glance, but revealed an oil-slick shimmer of green, blue and purple under the lights, which gave it a cool, almost holographic effect. The dramatic plunging neckline and bold cutaway thigh gaps pushed the design into edgy territory, making it feel more fashion experiment than classic Hollywood glamour. While the texture and movement were striking, the heavy fringe risked overwhelming her frame and read slightly chaotic on camera. She kept the accessories simple with diamond jewelry, black platform sandals, and a peachy lip, while her faux hawk-inspired updo with soft ringlets added extra drama. Sarah Pidgeon. Making her debut at the 2026 Actors Awards, Sarah Pidgeon chose high fashion history over safe glamour in a pale pink strapless gown by Balenciaga, and it instantly got people talking. The design came from the brand's Spring-Summer 2026 collection, marking Pierpaolo Piccioli's first runway work for the house, which already made it a headline moment. Inspired by Cristobal Balenciaga's iconic 1950s silhouettes, the gown featured a dramatic double balloon shape, cinched below the hip before dropping into a second voluminous sack-like structure. Crafted from pale pink silk, it was a soft pastel shift from the monochrome look she's been wearing while promoting her role as Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. While the architectural shape was undeniably couture and historically rich, the exaggerated volume risked swallowing her frame and felt more like a museum piece than a red carpet knockout. Demi Moore. And just when you think black can't go wrong, it takes a surreal turn. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Demi Moore arrived in a custom Schiaparelli Spring-Summer 2026 couture gown by Daniel Roseberry. And true to the house's DNA, it was anything but ordinary. The slim, ankle-length black bustier dress in wool crepe looked sleek and minimal from afar, but the satin-stitched trompe-l'oeil crocodile tail embellishment running down the front instantly shifted the vibe into surreal territory. And just when you thought it couldn't get more dramatic, a voluminous white tulle cloud bustle exploded from the back, creating a stark black and white contrast that demanded attention. It was artistic, sculptural, and undeniably couture. But for some, the exaggerated bustle overwhelmed the otherwise sharp silhouette, making the look feel concept-heavy rather than effortlessly glamorous. Meg Stalter. And finally, when the red carpet becomes performance art. At the 2026 Actors Awards, Meg Stalter didn't just walk the red carpet, she turned it into satire, leaning into the night's reimagining Hollywood glamour from the 20s and 30s theme. She wore a slinky leopard print slip dress with gilded straps and sheer, body-hugging panels that screamed old-school bombshell, but with a twist. She jokingly called it a Versace knockoff, poking fun at the usual high-fashion name-dropping that dominates these events. To dial up the drama, she added a luxe black fur stole, Y2 K-style black sunglasses, and, most controversially, carried an unlit, likely faux cigarette as part of what some described as a deliberate trailer trash aesthetic. She also debuted dramatic waist-length bleached blonde hair, making the entire look feel intentionally over the top. Love it or hate it, Meg committed to the bit. But for many viewers, the joke overshadowed the glamour, landing her firmly on the night's most polarizing list. While these stars may have landed on the worst-dressed list this time, every single one of them brought confidence, creativity, and conversation to the 2026 SAG Awards carpet. Now, I want to hear from you. Which look shocked you the most? Did any of these deserve redemption? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications.